Thank you for coming to listen to my talk. My name is Yuko Murakami. I am from Tohoku University, Japan. Today, I would like to discuss privacy infringement via collective intelligence, focusing on the recent case of so-called STAP stem cell. The case is still ongoing, but many have argued that it will give institutional impacts on academia, possibly not just in Japan but also in other countries. It's getting now realized that researchers in competitive environments, especially non-tenured researchers, might be more attracted to commit themselves to research misconduct than those in secure positions. Moreover, international collaboration and international education or personal training may create loopholes almost like degree mills. Those who get nominally trained in multiple academic institutions may not adequately be supervised by any responsible person, as they go back and forth among laboratories almost as visiting researchers. Thus, there are so many issues in this STAP case of possible influence on research community. It also involves the adequate topic, however, for this conference, that is, collective intelligence via online community. Possibilities of fabrication and plagiarism have been pointed out via Twitter and blogs of scientists rather than by journalists. Mass media then picked up the online stories to widely publish. People analyze and forecast the possible impacts of the case on research community in micromedia. So I won't talk about it in this talk. Please consult the appendix of this file of my talk, which include a timeline with some online resource. Instead, I focus on the privacy issue in the context of this STAP case today. The issue in Japan can be seen as lack of quality mass media. Quality papers, mostly abroad this time, reported suspicions with examinations of academic significance, while domestic mass media treated the topic with heroic stories, including personal backgrounds and gossips, and sometimes go too far to violate privacy, like paparazzi. Those domestic media often forward press release from scientists without examining its scientific significance and social consequence, while they go opposite not to report some political issues for over-compliance. Micromedia are also classified in quality media and gossipy media. This time on the STAP issue, the former plays critical roles while there are uncountable numbers of the latter. They have scrutinized the issue to give summaries of findings. Some analyze possible consequences in academia. But one thing we need to note here is micromedia by non-specialists. Most support the first author with non-critical view of mass media, taking attacks as backlash from envious professionals. This is what I would like to focus here in the STAP cell case. Concern on media and privacy. On January 31st, 2014, the next day of reported press release, the first author asked for a limited media appearance. She wrote online, "Research is obstructed by privacy infringement. The first author, family, friends, and neighbors." It was because mass media reported the press release with inadequate emphasis on her own personality and private issues, but without a spotlight on its scientific significance. Here is a list of January 30th headlines of national newspapers. All the keywords in media articles at this stage were related to Joshi. Joshi or girly aspect was focused by all mass media. She wore kappogi, Japanese traditional apron, instead of standard white robe, in her photographs of conducting experiments. It is unconventional but functional, but media treated kappogi as her icon. Other keywords like dating, weeping, fashionable are also girly. They reported her office was painted pink, decorated with flower-patterned sofa. They are not essential at all for scientific significance, and nothing was cared about political correctness. There is a background context. Rikeijo, which means girls in science, have been promoted by Japanese government since 2006, underwritten by the third basic plan of science and technology. Government funded for support of female researchers via their affiliated research institutions and universities. The underlying message was this: girls, go for science. You can be girly while you conduct research. The STAP case was exactly on this line. In fact, promotion of diversity has been distorted. The ratio of appointments of female researchers in science and engineering slightly grew with the government funding since 2007. The harsh situation of academic job market, nevertheless, almost annihilated the effect. Non-tenured or part-time researchers, that is, most of young researchers of entry level, female or male, were not fully supported. Moreover, the other factors of diversity have been ignored while female was under shiny spotlight. Internationalization was exception. To promote Japanese universities in international university rankings, Japanese government decided to fund those universities with a great number of inbound international students and outbound international students. Those with double degree programs with overseas universities have been preferred. It's another background context of this STAP. It's not just lack of quality mass media. The fundamental issues are there is no systematic curriculum in any educational stages in Japan to nurture argument skills and logical skills with relativized sets of premises. Keeping diversity requires critical thinking against our own common sense. Lack of critical thinking training, lack of hypothetical argument, and lack of historical reflection leads Japanese society to satisfy without quality mass media. Here is a reference to mass media articles on this STAP in Japan and the United States or EU. Please read and compare later. Here is another set of reference to micromedia. 11次元 anonymous account to report research misconducts picks up a blog which points out suspicious publication in articles of the first author to scrutinize the STAP issue from February 13, 2014. Since then, collective intelligence found so many publications and plagiarisms from the author and related researchers. It seems that voluntary investigation with online collaboration worked. But isn't it essential framing? Voluntary investigation often goes too far to commit privacy infringement. Based on the announcement on this January 31st, the first author might expect this situation. Of course, such rejection usually doesn't work, especially against micromedia. And mass media didn't listen to her and kept gossipy. This time too. In such a case, people often ask that philosophers may help the society to promote ethics. Can philosophers contribute this time? My answer is no. A previous case was a boom of information ethics in Japan in late 1990s to early 2000s. It was a middle of interrelated topics from ethics, law, and technology. But philosophers failed to give practical answers. This time, the situation required much more. which is substantive expertise in research activities in each specialized field of experimental science, which most philosophers lack. So, what philosophers can do this time? I'd like to ask you, what can we do? This is the end of my talk. Thank you for listening.